World War O is a 2015 espionage thriller, the seventh in a long series with the overall title Tales of MI7, which I penned between 2011 and 2021. Its theme is the role of tax havens in the global financial system, and it's set partly in the Crown Dependency of Jersey and partly in London's financial district, the so-called Square Mile. The O stands for offshore. In the novel, World War Offshore is an anti-capitalist demonstration in which millions of protesters suddenly appear on city streets across the globe, chanting slogans and chaining themselves to railings. Astonishingly, no intelligence services anywhere saw it coming, which shouldn't be possible. What if next time it's terrorists? Agent John Mordred is assigned to investigate. He's got a stake in the matter because his older sister Hannah is one of the organisers. She is the manager of a rock band by profession, so there's publicity to be had. But she's also a radical by conviction. She doesn't know what her brother does for a living. She suspects he's a bit of a drifter, but she's happy to have him on board. She's in Jersey, and she's issued a challenge to the authorities by unilaterally announcing plans to stage a concert there in a month's time. Our real aim is simply to ensure that the protest maintains its momentum. So there's an element of family versus country here, but not much, because Mordred's not that different to his sister. In any case, he hasn't been briefed to sabotage the protest, simply to find out how the whole thing managed to bypass GCHQ. Since World War O kicked off, lots of people are itching to see Hannah dead, so the extent of her knowledge is probably irrelevant. I did a lot of research for this novel, which I outline in a long afterword at the end. There were three main sources. The first, and undoubtedly the most important, was Nicholas Shaxson's 2011 Treasure Islands, Tax Havens and the Men Who Stole the World. Shaxson begins, nobody doubts that Britain sits spider-like at the centre of a vast international web of tax havens, hoovering up trillions of dollars worth of business and capital and funneling it up to the City of London. Nobody doubts that there's something extremely peculiar about the City of London Corporation, Britain's ancient and fortress-like internal offshore island. It's a well-argued book that establishes both those claims and many more, and leaves the reader wondering what a tax haven-free world might look like. The second book I used, Richard Brooks's 2014, The Great Tax Robbery, provides all the ingredients for an answer. For every pound I earn, he says, I'll pay around 7 pence for immediate access to professional healthcare, 5 pence for my children's education, 2 pence for living in relative security, and 11 pence for pensions and social security for my compatriots and my future self. I'll even contribute half a pence to aid the developing world. Anyway, thanks partly to Nicholas Shaxson, in World War O, the Lord Mayor of London, as leader of the City Corporation, becomes a significant presence in Tales of MI7 for the first time. Thereafter, following a template forged by the prisoner, to which I alluded in an earlier video, he becomes a kind of number 2 to Mordred's number 6. Number 2 never lasted more than an episode. Lord Mayors, of course, last just 1 year. My third significant source in writing this novel was the British fortnightly investigative magazine Private Eye's regular reports on tax avoidance, particularly in the city section, which lent support to many of Shaxson's most shocking claims. There's a lot more to World War O, including a kidnap, a bit of kung fu, 4.5 miles of old war tunnels, the murder of a remembrancer, an heroic Mexican heiress, a radical scientist, a Caribbean island with a rusting space rocket, and a chapter entitled A Lovely Day for Arson. And none of those things is superfluous to the plot. Except perhaps the last one, just the title. Anyway, that's World War O.